Hello YouTube, it's your boy B-Boy Snatch on TV, aka what kind of snatch you want, because I got playing around. I just want to say happy Friday towards everybody. I hope you guys are having a good Friday. As you can tell by the title, the thumbnail, and the video itself, this is my WWE Smackdown review on highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning or towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content I'm doing on the channel, because I'm on the road to 11K before July and I need all the help I can get. But anyway, follow my social media down below in the description and let's get started. Now, WWE Smackdown was not a bad show. It was just a solid show for what it was, and I give it a solid 5 out of 10. Alright, WWE Smackdown was on from Olympic Arena, Barcelona, and Barcelona, Spain. WWE, then now forever together. Commentary welcomes us to Barcelona with a shot of some excited fans outside the building earlier in the day. Superstars arrive, including Cody, Rhodes, and Gunther, and ahead of their face-to-face tonight. Carmelo Hayes and Ricky Sainz before they face off in a singles action, and Chelsea Green and Nia Jax alongside last station before Nia Jax and Chelsea Green compete on tonight's show. With that, we head to ringside, where the fans are absolutely excited, electric for our final SmackDown before a clash in Italy. Alright, we're introduced to our Spanish announce team, who are muted, at least on Netflix feed. Great job, Netflix. Before Wade Barrett and Joe Tester take a look back at what went down last week on Saturday night's main event, particularly in a 6-woman tag match. Back at ringside, Jade Cargill and her amazing friends B-Fab and Mitchell make their entrance to a chorus of boos from the Barcelona crowd. It only gets worse as they start chanting something in Spanish, something I probably shouldn't type out. Jade Cargill cuts through this, saying she doesn't need to ask permission, but rather she does what she wants. She makes the mistake of letting the crowd continue telling her and her crew to shut the F up as B-Fab and Mitch try to keep the promo until Rhea Ripley music hits, drawing out the women's world champion to a big pop. Rhea Ripley walks down the ramp, staring down the trio in the ring as she grabs a microphone. Before stepping through the ropes, another big pop from the champion as her music comes to an end. The crowd doing their Olay chant before Rhea Ripley calls Jade Cargill out for throwing around her dominance every week. Jade Cargill acts like 90% of her success is in using other people, whereas when it's just Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley in this ring. Rhea Ripley beats her. She beats Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, and this Sunday she's going to beat Jade Cargill again. When they face off, Jade Cargill is going to look up at the true champion. This gets a big pop from the fans, which turns into boos and another shut the you know what up chant as Jade Cargill talks about the ladies she's with looking for a piece of power. She talks about Rhea Ripley not being able to work well with other, and this brings out Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They each have microphones as they head to the ring, where Charlotte Flair talks about Jade Cargill not being here long for the ego she has. B-Fab cuts her off to call Jade Cargill the future of this business, but Alexa Bliss says the future needs to actually accomplish something first. Jade Cargill starts to run Alexa Bliss down before Alexa Bliss tells her that she likes to give those who go against her a warning. So this is Jade Cargill's one warning, not to let her career get destroyed before it can even begin. Alright, the bickering between the ladies in the ring comes to an end as Nick Aldis interjects from the stage, offering Jade Cargill and Alexa Bliss a chance to hash things out in the ring tonight. He calls for a referee to get this match going right now before we go to commercial break. So we go to commercial break. Alright, back at ringside, we get our opening match underway. Alright, so we get the first match. So we get Jade Cargill versus Alexa Bliss And this match right here, I ain't even gonna lie, this was a pretty good match in my opinion. Jade Cargill starts to go after Alexa Bliss, who quickly leaves the ring to force Jade Cargill to go on the pursuit. She forces Jade Cargill back into the ring before going up top, only for Jade Cargill to catch her, sending Alexa Bliss to the mat hard. Alexa Bliss looks for a rest with a few shots before heading back to the turnbuckles, but Jade Cargill catches her with a press slam to the canvas while staring down Rhea Ripley. Alexa Bliss starts to fight back as she sends Jade Cargill to the outside, but Jade Cargill once again catches Alexa Bliss in midair, slamming her to the floor with a power bomb as we get muted audio to indicate a break. But thanks to the power of Netflix, we keep the action rolling. Well, action so far as Jade Cargill maintaining control to bring Alexa Bliss into the ring. She goes to work on the back of Alexa Bliss, driving her into the ropes before sending Alexa Bliss to the corner for a hip attack. She brings Alexa Bliss to the mat for a weird chinlock before Alexa Bliss fights back to her feet, only to be sent back to the corner by Jade Cargill, who mocks Alexa Bliss with some push-ups that might make Scott Steiner proud. Alexa Bliss managed to get a few shots in before Jade Cargill brings her back to the apron before more damage. She drops to the floor before hosting Alexa Bliss onto her shoulders, but gets sent into the barricade by Alexa Bliss instead. I'm going to assume we return from break at some stage. Just assume we do. LOL. This gives Alexa Bliss an opening as she sends Jade Cargill back into the ring for a fury of offense, culminating in a flipping senton before getting a near fall. She brings Jade Cargill to her feet, but Jade Cargill blocks a Sister Abigail before sending Alexa Bliss to the ropes. She distracts the referee while B-Fab trips up Alexa Bliss, and this leads to Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley brawling with Jade Cargill's friends up on the ramp. Alexa Bliss sees an opportunity as she lands some more shots on Jade Cargill before going up top, but there will be no Twisted Bliss or anything like that as Jade Cargill stops her, setting her up for Jade to pick up the win. The winner of the match by pinfall, Jade Cargill. This was a pretty good match between Alexa Bliss and Jade Cargill, but in my opinion, Alexa Bliss should have won this match. I'd take a sip of my water, but let me continue. The win is not enough for Jade Cargill as she grabs a chair from ringside, laying it in the ring for a drop Alexa Bliss with a Jada onto it before Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair come running back down for the save. Jade Cargill escapes the ramp to booze as commentary talks about Gunther's interference during the Cody Rhodes Sami Zayn match last week on SmackDown. We cut backstage where Cody Rhodes' interview is cut off by Sami Zayn running down Cody Rhodes after what happened last week. Cody Rhodes jabs back, talking about Sami Zayn leaving him to get knocked out with a sleeper hold by Gunther. Sami Zayn calls himself the last real good guy, as he says he was teaching Cody Rhodes a lesson, and Cody Rhodes scoffs at this, saying maybe after he deals with Gunther, he'll teach Sami Zayn a lesson. SmackDown rolls on. Elsewhere, Nick Aldis talks to Dan Housen about his equipment being held at customs. Dan Housen wants to know what he should do next, to which the GM says he expected to appear in front of the SmackDown crowd, which is how he earns the human money. He tells Dan Housen to improve, and Dan Housen likes the sound of that as he walks away. Alright. As he does, the Miz approaches Nick Aldis about the fact Kid Wilson was also kept at costume due to too much moisturizer, and trying to find out how he's supposed to face Axiom in his home country on his own. Nick Aldis basically tells the Miz to figure it out, as that match is up next, And in the background, we see Danhausen make off with a box from nearby. The lights flicker, confusing Nick Aldis as we go to commercial break. So we go to commercial break. We head back to the ring. We head back to ringside as the Miz makes his entrance for our next match, and wherever it comes up being blocked out. Thank you, Netflix. LOL. Before Lillian Garcia makes the announcement in Spanish for Axiom, he comes out to the ringside along with Fraxium partner Nathan Frazier. And unrelated to anything, I can't help but wonder what a kid is up to. Anyways, this match gets underway. So we get the Miz versus Axiom, and this was a decent match. What it was, Axiom takes control early on, but Miz goes after his mask to turn things around. The lights flicker out for a moment, and this gives Axiom an opening to get a few shots in. The Miz turns it back around with a marking cartwheel before sending Axiom, but the masked man sends him across the ring for a flurry of kicks that forces Miz to the outside. The Miz waves off the fans before starting to head up the ramp. But Nathan Frazier stops him, allowing Axiom to bring the former WWE champion back into the ring. Miz fires back with a kick, regaining control as we fade to black for a break. Miz sends Axiom to the ropes for a knee lift, mocking the crowd before laying in a few more shots in inverted DDT for the cover and a near fall. He starts arguing with the referee as the crowd gives him for what, and Miz responds by continuing to lay into the masked man. We're chin-locked by the Miz as Axiom fights back to his feet. In the two-star trading strikes, Axiom wins out as we return from break. Axiom sends Miz to the ropes before taking him to the mat for a near fall. Miz fires back with some kicks before Axiom lands some of his own, taking him out for another near fall. Miz is back up and sends Axiom to the corner, blocking a golden rating before sending the masked man to the opposite corner. He goes up top, but gets caught in a triangle choke by Axiom. Miz crawls to the center of the ring as Axiom transitions into a modified ring of Chardon, but Miz managed to break the grip and gets free of the hold for a kick to Axiom. Axiom said, he goes to the corner, climbing up top when the lights flicker out again. This concerns Miz and is enough for Axiom to intercept him for a golden radar to pick up the win. The winner of the match by pinfall, Axiom. This was a decent match between Axiom and The Miz. Alright, Axiom celebrates as The Miz escapes the ring. We cut backstage as Damian Priest talks to R-Truth about his health situation. R-Truth knows that he can't get physical involved, as the crowd can be heard still cheering for their boy Axiom, but tells Damian Priest that he got his buddy tag team partner for tonight. Royce Keys appears, and we get another Friday reference as R-Truth seems to be hiding his chains from Royce Keys. Damian Priest is concerned about this being a setup the way R-Truth acts like he and Royce Keys go years back. R-Truth says he's right, saying he did in fact set this up. He asks if Damian Priest and Royce Keys are scared to go up against the MFTs, and appears to be scared or something himself as he wanders off. With that, SmackDown rolls on. Sami Zayn talks about what Cody Rhodes said to him earlier, and we see that he is once again talking to Johnny Gargano, who is still laying down in silence. This is interrupted by the arrival of Matt Cardona, who is trying to understand what is going on with Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes. This leads to an argument between the two, which ends with Matt Cardona saying he'll go to Nick Aldis to get a match against Sami Zayn tonight. He walks off, and we head back to ringside. Damian Priest makes his entrance first for this match as we go to commercial break. So we go to commercial break. We get a quick one down for the day of Clash of Italy before heading backstage, where Charlotte Flair checks on Alexa Bliss before talking to Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley promised she'll take care of Jericho Gill this Sunday, but Charlotte Flair says if she doesn't, then Charlotte Flair will, because Jericho Gill has a reset coming. Rhea Ripley walks off as we head back to ringside. Royce Keys makes his way out to a nice reception from the crowd. MFT makes their entrance with Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga set to face this makeshift pairing as the match gets underway. So we get the next match. So we get a tag team match. Damian Priest and Royce Keys versus MFT, Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga. And this tag team match right here, I ain't even gonna lie. This match itself, it was fun. This was a fun match to watch. Tala Tonga and Damian Priest start things off as the crowd chants "F.U. Solo Sikoa," nearly slipping past the censors. Tala Tonga sends Damian Priest to the corner before tagging Tama Tonga in, but Damian Priest fires off some shots to send Tama Tonga to the opposite corner. This is interrupted by Royce Keys tagging himself in, taking Tama Tonga to task before Tama Tonga fights back with a boot to the face. He charges at Royce Keys, who drops him with a power slam before sending him out of the ring. Tala Tonga looks to catch Royce Keys with a choke slam, but is intercepted by Damian Priest. And the odd couple duo finally shows some unity in sending Tala Tonga to the outside, as muted audio takes us to commercial break. Tama Tonga blindsides Damian Priest, sending him to the outside before Tala Tonga gets a tag to go after Royce Keys. He sends Royce Keys to the corner, hosting him up for a Samoan drop. Tala Tonga continues the attack, keeping Royce Keys away from a tag before Tama Tonga gets in the ring. Gets in on the action with a tag of his own. He mocks Damian Priest before laying into Royce Keys with some more shots, followed by a tag to Tala Tonga, who stomps at Royce Keys a few times for good measure. He wrenches the head of Royce Keys, who fights back to his feet as we presumably return from break. Alright, Royce Keys managed to fend off Tala Tonga, only for Tama Tonga to tap back in to keep Royce Keys down. OTC chant breaks out as Tama Tonga gets caught by surprise by Royce Keys, who gets a tag. He gets a tag to Damian Priest, drops Tama Tonga before going at it with Tala Tonga. The two big men trading strikes before Tala Tonga gets sent to the outside. Tama Tonga sees an opening as he hits the ropes, but Damian Priest drops him to the mat before going up top in the corner. Diving clothesline gets Damian Priest a near fall before Tala Tonga breaks the pin, only to be sent out of the ring by Royce Keys, with the referee distracted. Solo Sikoa knocks Royce Keys down while Tala Tonga gets the tag, but Damian Priest drops him to the mat before going up top in the corner. Driving clothesline gives Damian Priest a near fall before Tala Tonga breaks the pin, only to be sent out of the ring by Royce Keys, with the referee distracted. Solo Sikoa knocks Royce Keys down while Tala Tonga gets the tag, but out comes R-Truth for the save. This doesn't end up working out as Tama Tonga drops Royce Keys to the floor, while Tala Tonga drops Damian Priest with a chokeslam for the win. The winner of the match, MFT. This was a fun tag team match, what it was. MFT celebrates as we cut backstage, where Miz threatens to sue Nick Aldis for what he's been through the past few weeks. Nick Aldis says he's going to look into the electrical issue now, as they pass by a room where Danhausen can be seen with a fire extinguisher. He says he's put out all the fires as Miz starts to walk into the room, only to be blasted out with the fire extinguisher. Nick Aldis walks into the room himself, trying to get a look at what under the sheet under the sheet on a bed, but Danhausen says no looking. With that, we told that up next is a look at the issue between Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu ahead of their match at Clash in Italy before the World Heavyweight Championship commercial break. Video package is a matter of pride and family as Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu face off for the World Heavyweight Championship and the title of Tribal Chief in the Tribal Combat this Sunday at Clash in Italy. Alright, it says with that we get a rundown of the card for this Sunday, along with the reminder that the first hour will air live on ESPN with the Gunther Cody Rhodes WWE Championship match kicking off the show, along with Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's Championship. Backstage, Tiffany Stratton informs Chelsea Green that she is not going out to the ring with her later tonight. Chelsea Green is taken aback by this, as Tiffany Stratton says it's not that deep before walking off. SmackDown rolls on. Back at ringside, Sami Zayn makes his entrance for our next match before we go to commercial break. So we go to commercial break. Video package. The heated rivalry between El Grande Americano and the original El Grande Americano comes to a head on May 30th when they face off in a mask versus mask match at Triple A Noches de Los Grandes and Monterrey, Mexico. We head back to ringside as Matt Cardona makes his entrance to get this match on the way. Alright, so we get the next match right here. So we get Sami Zayn versus Matt Cardona. And this, and I'm also say this is not a bad match. This was a good match as well. The two lock up, Sami Zayn taking the early advantage, only for Matt Cardona to turn things around when he sees Sami Zayn to the outside. He brings Sami Zayn back to the ring, but it is intercepted by Sami Zayn on the apron, landing a suplex to bring Matt Cardona back in the ring the hard way for a near fall. Some punches landing until Matt Cardona gets back to his feet, only to be sent to the corner. It's Sami Zayn with a chop, but Matt Cardona fires back with some shots of his own before sending Sami Zayn across the ring. He gets up top. Sami Zayn sending Sami Zayn to the outside with a missile drop kick as we fade to black for a commercial break. Sami Zayn takes a breather on the outside before heading back into the ring, taking control of the match with a suplex as the crowd chants for both men. Sami Zayn brings Matt Cardona to his feet for a big right hand, sending Matt Cardona to the ropes. The referee calls for a clean break, and Sami Zayn obliges just enough for Matt Cardona to head to the corner, where Sami Zayn lands some more shots for good measure on a fellow former United States champion. He sends Matt Cardona to the mat for a 2 count before sending him to the ropes as we come back from commercial break. Sami Zayn with a weird chin lock on Matt Cardona now, but Matt Cardona fights back with a jawbreaker before hitting the ropes for a comeback. He takes Sami Zayn down hard, and when Sami Zayn heads to the corner, he gets caught by Matt Cardona. Broski boot brings us back to about 2010 as Matt Cardona looks for a Rough Rider, but Sami Zayn dodges it, only for Matt Cardona evades a Blue Thunder Bomb double underhook into a power bomb, but this only gets Matt Cardona a near fall. Rough Rider attempt is blocked again, and this time it's Sami Zayn who hits a powerbomb for a 2 count. Matt Cardona gets to the corner where he counters a Helluva kick to land a Rough Rider and covers, but Sami Zayn gets a boot on the bottom rope to break the pin. Sami Zayn heads to the corner, but is intercepted by Matt Cardona as the two slug it out on the turnbuckle. Sami Zayn wins out and sets up for an exploder that sends Matt Cardona to the opposite corner, where Sami Zayn lands a Helluva kick for the win. the winner of the match by pinfall, Sami Zayn. This was a good match. Sami Zayn celebrates the win as commentary talks about the King and Queen of the Ring tournament coming up. We cut to a video package looking at the history of the tournament from the early days of King of the Ring to the rise of the Queen of the Ring, crowning achievements. This Monday kicks off tournament's action, which will culminate at Night of Champions in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Alright, let's move on. Backstage, we see Lil Yachty meeting up with Trick Williams as we hear from them later tonight. We cut to an ad promoting WWE Made in America, which will air after SmackDown tonight on USA Network. As for us right now, we go to commercial break. So we go to commercial break. We get a muted LOL at Fanatics Fest NYC before heading backstage, where Nick Aldis is telling someone he's granted TV time to let them get things out. It turns out he's talking to Gunther, who promised to keep his beating to a verbal one as he addresses Cody Rhodes face to face later tonight. Next time they consider going to Spain, they should consider Madrid instead. That heals heat, bother and SmackDown rolls on. Alright, we head to ringside as Lil Yachty and Trick Williams make their entrance. Lil Yachty introduced himself to Barcelona audience as the man with the money before talking about the Trick Williams campaign. The crowd is on board with that, chanting "Whoop that Trick" as Trick Williams says, "Let's talk about it." He talks about beating Sami Zayn and Carmelo Hayes before looking ahead to the future. He declares himself for the King of the Ring tournament before Melo makes his way out to interrupt. He says Trick Williams might be the king of the mic and even king of the entrance, but king of the ring, that grown folk business, and Trick is too little. He's going to deal with Ricky Saints tonight before getting involved in our business. And then Melo and Trick Williams will go at it for the United States Champion next week. That's just what it is. Trick Williams interrupts, calling Melo melodramatic before running the former champ down. He talks about the possibility of He talks about the possibility of them going eye to eye and face to face for this title, but out comes the absolute Ricky Saints to absolute no reaction at least at first. Alright, he talks about the fans wanted to see a real champion like Ricky Saints. This finally gets boos from the crowd as he heads to the ring, talking about wanting a shot at the United States Championship himself. Trick Williams interrupts, telling Ricky Saints to keep his mouth shut before sending him out of the ring with a backhand slap. Trick Williams briefly confronts Melo once more before making his exit from the ring. As we go to commercial break, Carmelo Hayes is set to face Ricky Saints. So we go to commercial break. Alright, so we get quick results. Jericho Gill defeated Alexa Bliss. Axiom defeated The Miz. MFT defeated Tala Tonga and Tama Tonga. Damian Priest and Royce Keys. Sami Zayn defeated Matt Cardona. Carmelo Hayes versus Ricky Saints ends in a double countout. And Chelsea Green defeated Nia Jax. And yeah, that's all I gotta say from here. But I just want to see more. I just want to see more. So let me check. I know that Gunther and Cody Rhodes cut a good promo. I know that Cody Rhodes and Gunther cut a promo. So I just want to see. So yeah. I just want to see. So it says right here. Let me find it. Oh yeah, let me find it. So give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I know I can find it. And yeah, and that's it. Cody Rhodes cut a promo against Gunther, and that's all I gotta say from here. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my WWE Smackdown review and highlights, make sure you guys please watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning all towards the end. If you are new to the channel, make sure you guys please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content that I do on the channel, because I'm on the road to 11K before July. So make sure you guys help me get to 11K before July, because I need all the help I can get, and I deserve way more subscribers, because I'll be putting a whole lot of work into my content. But anyway, go check out my AEW Dynamite review and highlights that I did on the channel, and go check out my WWE NXT review and highlights that I did on the channel, and also go check out my WWE Raw review and highlights that I also did on the channel. But anyway, thank you guys so much for coming to my live stream. Thank you guys so much for coming to my live stream when I was playing a retro game. I totally appreciate every single one of you guys. So I want you guys to have a great Friday. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club, Bull Squad. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And I will see you guys this Sunday for my WWE Clash in Italy review and highlights. So I want you guys to have a great Friday. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And I will stream Fortnite tomorrow live on Twitch. So make sure you guys come to my stream for some Fortnite live on Twitch. And that's all I gotta say. Have a great Friday and stay too sweet. And I'm out of here. Gang.